Honestly, I mean, I didn't have the highest expectations, but this was a fun one. Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video we're going to be talking about The Rithmatist by Brandon Sanderson, which is one of his younger reading ones, one of the earlier ones he did. I think it's like YA or teen or wherever you want to categorize it. And it's one of the very few, other than the Alcatraz ones that are like actual like kids books. It's one of the few, if only ones, that I had just never gotten around to reading. And so decided to finally try it out. I figured it was a good time, kind of a shorter book, and fit a prompt that I had going on for readathon, and so decided to give it a shot. And overall, I did think it was fun here. This has a lot of the hallmarks of Sanderson, so I think right off the bat, if you like Sanderson, you're probably going to like this just fine. It's we're following a main character, Joel, and Joel wants to be a Rithmatist, which is this kind of complex system of magic that involves chalk drawings and like having circles, right, and doing different like equations, involves shapes and math and that sort of thing. And he goes to the school where like these Rithmatists go, but he's not one himself, and that's kind of the setup. So you get the magic, which is something I think most people have come to expect in Brandon Sanderson novels, and you definitely get that here, and it is interesting. And then actually it's a pretty good story of, although it is a bit younger. We're seeing this character, and he's trying to go through the different things. It doesn't just take all of the like convenient things that you would expect. It does have some little twists here and there as well, but sets it up. And the thing I wasn't expecting is it presents kind of like a mystery story, because one of the things that's happening is there are students who are going missing, presumably killed, and they're trying to figure out who's doing it. And so that's kind of a bit of the premise there. But I commented, I think, when I was doing my wrap-up, the one that's reminded me the most of, actually, is probably Yumi, the Nightmare Painter, because of the magic system there. Because in that one, at least in the one half, it was like the nightmares would come and you had to draw them to get rid of them. In this one, your chalk drawings are a big part of the magic, and so like there are chalklings, which are like basically chalk drawings that are there, and they're wild ones. We find out there, and so like there are people who basically, like the Rithmatists, that they go out to like the war, the battlefront, and are using the magic to prevent the wild chalklings from getting out, that kind of thing. So it reminded me of that a little bit, and because we do have another character who the two are kind of put together and that kind of thing, and it's not like romancy really or anything like that, but just kind of the friendship as it goes along, that sort of thing. So Yumi was one of those ones that definitely was very bordering YA and felt fairly YA, which Sanderson tends to kind of, I feel like, balance between the two. So this one is more definitely for younger audiences, but like I said, was honestly actually pretty enjoyable. I didn't even mention, I don't have a physical copy of this one. I never actually got one of the reasons I haven't read it. So I borrowed the hardcover from my library. And then I did a little bit of the audio as well, which I do enjoy Michael Kramer, but I feel like he was a weird choice for this, considering it's a younger character. It just was, it didn't make a ton of sense with it. So that's kind of just a fun aside for the bits that I did there. But honestly, like I said, I think this is one that especially if you like older Sanderson stuff, this is definitely older Sanderson kind of stuff. It's his older stuff tended to all have that same feel with it, and his newer stuff's a little bit different. And I haven't, I've had mixed feelings on the newer YA stuff that he's done over time. Like, Reckoners I thought started good, but I didn't really care for the ending. The Skyward books, once again, I like the start, but I kind of just lost interest over time, and still haven't read the last one actually either. But it's with that, it's it has that kind of the old school feel where he was still kind of new with it, and I don't understand too why there's been talk in the state of Sanderson forever about eventually having a sequel, because it most certainly leaves some loose ends for an eventual sequel. But it's interesting, and this one does too, though. It takes place in like a version of our world, which is pretty different from what most of his stuff does, because I don't have the book for the actual map, but it's like it's like it takes place in the U.S., but they're all like islands instead, and there's some like alternate history in there where there's a different empire that kind of took over large parts of the world, and there's all these little bits and pieces, and so it's cool because even though it's meant to be simpler, and it's taking place in like a parallel version of our world, it's still Sanderson, so like he still wants to do some of that world building. So I think he actually does a really good job in this one of getting some interesting world building there, doing the magic systems that we all know and expect here, and so overall I enjoyed this one more than I thought I was going to as well, and it's I think it's just it's solid. Like I said, if you like Sanderson, if you read most of his stuff and just haven't read this one, give it a read. It's short, it's quick, it won't take you very much time, and it's enjoyable. If you're not a Sanderson fan, then yeah, it's Sanderson. It's not going to be for you with it as well. But if you're also somebody who's just like, even if you've been kind of mixed on the newer, younger stuff he's written, this one feels more like older Sanderson, or more like kind of like I said, the feel and tone of the Secret Projects, where they were like a little bit less serious, a little bit more fun. It kind of has that feel. So that's what I thought was interesting, because those are really new and recent, which is why, though, I am interested to see, because I think with the way that he did those, that was kind of a way for him to get back to just kind of doing that sort of thing. So we'll see. But overall, it was a solid time. I did enjoy it, and it's definitely worth checking out if you haven't at this point. That's really it for this one, though. Make sure to give the video a like if you enjoyed it. Check the link in the description, as always, for the Wizard of the Enclave Discord. If you want to chat books, whether this book, other books, really anything at all, it's a lot of fun, and we'd love to have you. And, of course, if you enjoy my content, make sure to subscribe.